My name is Henry Greenwood, known as Harry Greenwood. I was a leading signalman, Royal Navy. So along came the deep sea rescue tugs. And the deep sea rescue tugs was made up of many, many men. They were all seamen. My first ship was HMS Storm King, and I sailed with the Storm King right away, and I was 17 and a half then.
I was actually on an Air Canada flight, and I was on my computer on the Air Canada website because I was actually looking for a flight at the time for my father to send him to France for the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And this lovely, charming flight attendant, Travis, was coming down the aisle, and he saw that I was on the Air Canada website.
I walked by a couple of times and she was still on the homepage. It caused me to just stop and ask her the question. And then she started telling me about her father and how being a veteran from World War II, and it just became the thing to do. We were going to get him there.
I had just finished a convoy run to Gibraltar and came back in, and we immediately were sent to Leon Solent, which is that body of water that divides Portsmouth from and then all the ships started coming in there, with landing craft started coming in there, tank craft started coming in there, so pretty well it was just an armada waiting to go. One of the things that we had to do too was HMS Warspite, which was one of Britain's biggest battleships, and the job we had as a rescue tug was actually to act as a tug. And the Warspite dropped her anchor, not too far from here. The observation plane flew over Caen, signalled back to the Warspite, and the Warspite let off her 16-inch guns. I remember that, our ship just went like that. So I did a job with the lamp with signalling to this plane. It would say 5 overflow or stuff like that. And the Warspite would fire her guns on Caen. And I didn't think about it then, but I thought about it afterwards, about the people who were receiving these shells. They weren't necessarily the enemy. There were many of them just the civilians. And that's that. And I'm glad yesterday you took us to that home, because in all the time I've been here, and the many times I've been here, I have never talked to the people who were here during that day.
Vers 8 heures, mon frère était sorti, aller voir un petit peu en dehors du pays, vers 8 heures, je crois que c'était. Et on voyait la mer, parce qu'à cette époque-là, il n'y avait pas de construction. Oh, il revient, il dit, oh, c'est le débarquement, la mer est pleine de bateaux. Enfin, on s'est dit, on va mourir. Donc on est restés tous D'autres gens du village sont venus avec nous, on était une vingtaine, dans une écurie, de 4 heures du matin à 5 heures le soir. C'était calmé, calmé. Puis mon père dit à la porte était restée grande ouverte, il dit regardez, c'était pas là tout de suite. Et c'était un petit peu le début d'une baïonnette. C'était les Canadiens qui arrivaient, qui avaient entendu qu'il y avait des civils là, puis avec leurs baïonnettes, hop, puis d'un coup, hop, les bras en l'air, les bras en l'air. Les Canadiens, ils nous ont sortis comme ça, du dehors de la cour. Alors mon père a dit, mais vous parlez français? Ben, il dit, oui, et vous êtes qui? Ben, on est Canadiens. Quand on a marché, moi avec mon père sur le sable, on regardait la mer, puis d'un coup vers le mur de la digue, il y avait des cadavres qui étaient là. 17 Canadiens. Il y en avait un, il avait plus de tête.
Plus de face. Plus de face. Il avait encore sa tête, mais plus de face. Tout était parti. Il a dû avoir une triste fin, celui-là. Ah oui, c'était une triste journée.
Ça, c'est inoubliable, ça.
Mon père nous a toujours dit, quand vous passez le pont, comptez vos pas. Donc on comptait nos pas et peut-être 1000, on faisait sur le bras du banneau, on faisait un coup de couteau. Encore un deuxième coup de couteau et ainsi de suite. Quand on rentrait à la ferme, le père devait relever le nombre de coups de couteau. Ça faisait un nombre de pas déterminé et ça faisait un nombre de mètres. Cette histoire-là, il transmettait à son beau-frère qui habitait à Nizy, qui s'appelait Savard, qui lui, par radio, transmettait toutes ces informations en Angleterre, pour situer sur le centre ici, où étaient tous les blocos, tous les Tobruk. Donc, quand les Canadiens ont débarqué ici, ils devaient savoir exactement où se trouvaient tous les sites.
For a long time, I had no time for things like the British Legion or the Canadian Legion, and I just resented that because I thought that was a paramilitary organisation. I never wore medals, I never went in parades, until I had a talk with a couple of my friends who did, and they explained that they were there because it gave them an opportunity to talk about their friends and to talk about the situations of war, and that's what I use it for. It was a Saturday night, I was in watch, so they called out Signalman James Bell, report to the regulating petty officer. And then they called it again, Then they called it Free Times. Well, Jimmy, who was my best friend actually, and was signal school too, he was number 1 in the examinations. We were always competing, and I was number 2. So Jimmy was ashore. You know, he was having a time ashore in Campbelltown. So they started calling me Sigmund Greenwood, NAP/R2695337. You never forget your service number. And I went down and says, join the Storm King. She's at the jetty and she's leaving in the morning. So I went down and joined the Storm King. And as we were leaving, I saw Jimmy Bell, who knew that I had taken the ship on the jetty, and he's going like that to me, raising his fist, because he wanted so much to go to sea. That was the last time I saw him, because he joined the ship that I should have joined, HMS Sesame. And HMS Sesame is right out there, under the water. It's now a diving bell. It was sunk in June the 11th. He's out there, and it's marked as a diving bell, HMS Sesame.
I think returning for the 75th was extremely special for both of us. I know it's been a very emotional trip for my dad and emotional for me as well.
All our veterans, all our soldiers who came over the ocean to fight for liberty and democracy.
As a soldier, we tend to look back at what other soldiers did, and we truly stand on the shoulders of giants. That generation that fought to liberate Europe set an example forevermore for all of us to follow.
In 1944, before the war was over, the countries of Europe met to hammer out the Charter for the United Nations. But one of the British delegation was asked what he saw in the United Nations. And he said, what I want to see one day is a mother who will look out of her kitchen window and see children of all races, all colours, and all creeds, hopping and playing in a large green meadow. He said, that's my vision. Well, that's my vision too. And that's the way the world should be.